So if you're listening here on Clubhouse, thanks for joining us. And we are now live streaming on Facebook and we are on YouTube as well. So thanks for coming by. If you're listening to us now, I'm just going to put a link to our live stream on YouTube into the Clubhouse. So if you are on Clubhouse, you're welcome to go over and see the live stream. Oh, hang on. What have we just done? We did not want to do that. Oh, we have just come out of the... That is a faux pas. We just came out of the Clubhouse by accident. That is not what we wanted to do. Welcome, Samuel. Welcome. Just getting the links all pinned here. So notifications get off. All right. Oh, actually, that's a good point, actually. I don't want telephone calls. Oh, no. Well, hopefully we won't get a call in this time. I'm not on hands-free. But yeah, so... Yeah, this is an interesting question. I have kind of contemplated this a couple of times. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to read through some articles that I found, but then also kind of contemplate in my own experience with, so far in the last 2 years, like many people, getting into Web3, blockchain, or stocks and shares and stuff like that. Obviously, a lot of money was swimming around from 2020 till 2022 with all the money printing, everything that happened with COVID. And a lot of this money found its way into people's hands. And then being at home, what do they do with that? They put it into assets. Now, something that I've kind of come to realize is that, if we have a poor money mindset and like, kind of just working class, just working for ourselves, not working for ourselves, working for someone else, I should say, then, yeah, my kind of observation there is like, if you don't understand the financial system, you don't understand how any of these financial tools work, there's people who may get rich overnight, but most people don't. And I don't think any of these things, stock, shares, and crypto, are going to make anyone's life, majority of people, I shouldn't say anyone's, that's a faux pas, but to say that a lot of people, the majority of people, I don't believe that it's going to become life-changing for most people, because when you get involved in any kind of asset class that has some sort of volatility, now stocks and shares have less volatility than crypto does, but I mean in the last 2 years, obviously we've gone really, really high up from the initial COVID little drop, and then all that money coming in, and you see the S&P 500 and things like that going really, really high. We've come all the way back down to those levels before that now. Now, a lot of people like myself, like if you got into stocks and shares and crypto and stuff, it may be in like the spring of 2021, maybe 2022. No, not maybe 2022, but if you got in like the spring of 2021, or even towards the end of 2020, you probably didn't even know when and how to sell. And that's the biggest thing, is like when to sell. Now, why am I here with this topic today of is trading an addiction? So, I've put money in. I've had money given to me from my father. He initially got me into the idea of like, go and learn how to do some trading and stuff like that. So, okay, I'll try and figure it out. So, that £1,500, put that in. I have a student overdraft. I think I can pay it back if I, just work with it for the next year, and like, yeah, I'll pay it back. And the reality is I'm still overdrawn. I didn't pay it back. Yes, I do have additional assets that grant me education, grant me access to things like the community of Gary Club and Giraffe Tower and things like that, which is helping me become a creator. I wouldn't be doing these live streams if it wasn't for Jonathan Duncanley, who has a Dunk coin and things like that. So I don't regret any of that, and I wouldn't have been able to do that if I wasn't using what spare money I had in my part-time job, getting those particular assets, the Giraffe NFTs, or acquiring my own creator coin, the Fuzzy coin. But where I want to go with this addiction topic is that I would be looking initially, when I first got into like the trading, especially with the crypto, you'd be looking at your phone, looking at these apps, these apps that you've got, like whether it's a free trader, trading 212, or if you're on crypto.com, whatever apps you might be. And not necessarily with the stocks, I guess, so much, but the volatility of crypto, definitely like, oh, what's going on? Not understanding buy and sell orders and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I feel like, I'm still putting whatever spare money I have into it, and I kind of feel like I've kind of reined it in a bit. But I do wonder, and there's a bit of a question mark: am I addicted to trading? I'm not a day trader, but there's that roller coaster ride of the experience. So what I've done, I've kind of compiled some documents here. I'm going to try and see if I can, here on the YouTube, I know we've got Samuel down there in the clubhouse. You're very welcome to come up if you want, Samuel. You could always take part in a conversation with me, and maybe people on YouTube might be able to hear you, see how that works out. So let me see. I'm just going to try and see if I can share my screen. How did I do this the other day? Presentation, present. Okay, so screen share. And we're going to get the document. Let's see where I've got it. Here we go. So I've got a Notion page. I'm going to pin this actually over at the clubhouse room as well. Hopefully this is showing my screen. Yes, we got that. Let's just get that bigger. There we go. So good. We're coming through on there. I'm going to get the Notion article for us here. In fact, you know what, Samuel, I'm going to bring you up. I'm going to make you a co-host just because when I go out of my app, it sometimes just messes me up. So just here on Clubhouse, we've got Samuel. If he did want to come up, don't have to talk if you don't want to, Samuel, but I will be making you a co-admin if you are here. So yes, there he is. Let's just make you a mod with me, and I will just find that the Notion. How are you doing today, Samuel? You able to speak at the moment?
Hello.
Hey, buddy. Are you at work?
Yeah. I'm at work right now, but I just want to say, hey, what's up?
Yeah, man. No, thanks for joining us. Yeah, feel free just to listen. Right. I'm gonna go through a couple of things. So yeah, but thanks for the support.
Oh, always, not a problem.
No problem. Cool. Where is my Telegram? Let's find that. And we've got to save there, and there's the Notion link. Okay, so we come back to here. Right, let's get this pinned up. So this, for anyone who is listening to the replay here on Clubhouse, and I'll try and figure out how to put this onto YouTube. Still getting used to the whole streaming thing, but this is all part of the process. Let's make sure the link works. Let's go there. And will it take me to? Yes, it does. Right, great. So that link above will take anyone who's listening to the replay or here live to the Notion page. And then can I post a comment? Maybe I can post a comment here on YouTube as well. Let's see if that works out. So go to Telegram. Oh no, actually I don't have to do that. Go to the document itself, share link, and come back to my dashboard on your StreamYard, and let's see. Nope. Yep. Okay. Cool. Well, if this works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We'll just carry on. So yeah. So I was looking into this topic. I did it very briefly. Haven't deep dived into it, but yeah. So this article. So a lot of people will be familiar with Investopedia, and Investopedia, it actually has an article on there. So I looked up trading addiction, and Investopedia came up. You can learn all sorts of things about investing, terminologies, and indicators, trading styles, things like that. And there's this article on there about the downward spiral of trading addiction. So I'm just literally going to read it and to see what it says. And so I put this in the article in the Notion, and I got 3 different articles there. So we'll go through this one. So the downward spiral of trading addiction. Trading addiction is trading in the financial markets is stimulating, exciting, and engrossing. But you can become addicted, just like with any actual casino or using illicit drugs. Like any severe addiction, trading addiction can cost you socially and economically. And in this article, we will talk about what causes trading addiction, the symptoms, and how to break out of the downward spiral. The problem focuses on the brain and understanding how its rewards systems can train you to trade compulsively and dangerously. So just to break apart that introduction there. Now, this is something I definitely agree on. Stimulating, exciting, engrossing. Now, I imagine if you were just in stocks and shares, if you were trading like a day trader or even a little bit of a swing trader thing, sort of like, yeah, what's going to market doing today? What's happening? It's like that dopamine hit, that stimulation. Now, if you take that into crypto and NFTs, every single day, I'm sure Samuel would agree on this as well. Every single day, there's something new going on. Like you literally will wake up one day and things would completely change. Like the market would have crashed severely, or you depending on where you are in the world, something happens, and then suddenly the market changes, or a new project comes out, or some bit of FUD comes out, or whatever. It's a non-stop roller coaster, and far more interesting because of that, making it far more addictive. I mean, I literally had Tesla stock and all that kind of thing. I sold these things to get more Ethereum because I was just like, well, crypto is much more interesting. I can do more stuff with the assets. And it wasn't sexy enough. So that, definitely agree with that. So the link to that Investopedia article is there, and there's a little section of key takeaways. So the key takeaways, if you go into the Notion and you look at that link for that article, key takeaways: trading with its promise of high income, financial freedom, sometimes frantic pace, highs and lows can become an addiction for some people, just like alcohol or gambling. While some average investors might luck out and strike it rich, most people end up losing money and if the addiction takes over their lives, lose the job, relationship, and even their homes. In classic downward spiral, an amateur wins thanks to beginner's luck and then loses, then tries to recover those losses, but instead loses more, and as they keep on trying to dig themselves out of a deepening hole. I actually, not to name names, I actually personally know someone. This is someone I don't know in the physical world, but I know through the communities that I'm involved in, and I think they're a decent person, and unfortunately, this person has exactly that. I believe they have gone into a downward spiral of chasing losses. So this is definitely something no one is talking about. No one's entering the space and saying, look, just make sure that you're not going to dip to personality. Make sure that you put things in place that prevent you from doing this kind of behavior, but and it's there. So I see you might there, Samuel. How you doing? Did you want to say something?
I'm good. I agree with you 100%, man. And I think with crypto, I think that crypto is just, it's to me, the reason I really started gravitating toward it is because it seems like it's easier in some ways than if you were invested in stocks. You have more control over the money that you put in. So, you can put the money in and you can pull it out a lot quicker than you can with stocks. Not all stocks, I would say. You got some stuff, but like you said, it gives you so much utility, and you can do so much with it. It is so much sexier with stocks. So I can see where it can become addictive. I never thought about it until you just brought up this conversation, though. That's definitely enlightening.
Well, yeah, I mean that's a great point you make, because but also with that, being very, I think the word they use is liquid or something like that. It's like, you could buy and sell whenever you want, but it's a 24/7, 365-day market that never stops. And so there's that. So I think all of those things. I'm not trying to FUD crypto. I think Web3 is great. I think once someone has a healthy relationship with it and not being too attached, so for example, I'm in a position where I've not got a financial cushion. I'm negative in terms of the amount because of this the overdrafts and stuff like that. I mean, I could be in a worse situation, and I think so many people, we just kind of oh yeah, this is going, it's happening, it's moving so quickly, let's get some money and put some money in. So it's a very difficult thing, and lots of people get wrecked, and there's more losers than there are winners, which is why I think it's a conversation that was it's worth having. So but yeah, just to kind of carry on, so yeah, we've got that, and the last of the takeaways, and if anyone wants to click on the Notion article, they can do. Once you realize that you have a serious problem, trying to pull yourself out of your addiction alone is a recipe for disaster. Instead, reach out to family and friends and get professional help. Okay, so that was the takeaways for the Investopedia article. You can read the whole article if you click the link above. And then I've got here, which those who are on YouTube can see, I've got the another article. This is for some website that's called Following Fulfillment. So stop trading addiction. So properly stop trading addiction, everything you need to know. And I took out a bit which says, what is considered a trading addiction? So I've said, do I have a trading addiction? I'm definitely liking the excitement. I'm definitely getting the buzz. I'm definitely getting the dopamine hits. I mean, for the most part, it's me watching stuff on YouTube and maybe not necessarily getting any work done or creating content. I'm meant to be a content creator. That's why I'm doing it now. Sure, I might be just rambling on a little bit, but why not take the opportunity to do a live stream? If anyone enjoys this, that's great. If you don't, that's okay. But so let's have a look what it says. So what are we considering to be a trading addiction? So 1, excessive preoccupation with trading. This may manifest itself in thinking about trading all day, all the time, or placing trades even when there is no reason to do so. Number 2, losing track of time while trading. This can include staying up all night to trade or skipping meals and other activities in order to trade. Well, that second one I've definitely done because of the time zones. I've been up, not necessarily doing active trades, but I have done some trades while being awake, and I have been listening to people on Clubhouse, and I'm up until 3 o'clock in the morning my time because everyone's in the West Coast, and not everyone, but a lot of people primarily seem to be on the West Coast, and it's like that. That sleeping pattern and being involved in the space, definitely that, and then doing some trades. Don't necessarily think about trading all the time, but there definitely have been times when I'm looking at something, so this thing's going on. I think very early on, oh damn it, I wish I was at my computer and do a trade and whatever. But these all really talk about day trading. If you're a long-term value investor or you're doing swing trading, it's a very different kind of mindset. But people who are day trading, they could be working in a time scale of minutes to an hour or whatever within the day. Buy it here, sell at that point, etc. And that's just really no way to live. I don't really think that's. I mean, people make money out of it, but you are hunched over a laptop doing that all day, every day. And welcome Ganesh to the Clubhouse room. Great to have you, Ganesh, from our Unit Masters cohort. So continuing, if Ganesh, if you hit the link for the Notion page, we're just reading on some article extracts that I took about trading addiction, and just to kind of recap, I was talking earlier about that no one really talks about the addictions that come with getting into the crypto space or stocks and shares and stuff like that. Like the trading and stuff can be addictive, and we're looking at this point what is considered to be addiction, so a trading addiction anyway. So we've got losing time, excessive preoccupation with trading. 3, putting trading above all important obligations. This might involve neglecting work, family, or social obligations in order to trade. I think maybe I done some of that myself. In experiencing withdrawal symptoms when not trading. This manifests itself as irritability, anxiety, or depression when not trading. Not necessarily to do with trades, but I have experienced those symptoms in regards to, I think, just my own kind of shame towards the whole getting myself in the position I'm currently in. And then, with any kind of addictive behaviors, I want to learn, I want to, look at what's going on. This is far more interesting. I need to do that, that kind of feeling, to get that kind of dopamine hit. I think there are definitely things I have experienced. 5, taking risks that are out of proportion to potential rewards. I have not done this, I don't think, but I might be downplaying myself. This manifests itself in taking excessive risk in order to make a quick profit, or holding on to losses positions for too long in the hope that they will eventually turn around. For the most part, for the first part of that, I have not, other than the dollar cost averaging and obviously the borrowed amount to get me to where I am now. I'm not necessarily gone out okay, this trade's happening, I'm going to quickly get some money and try and ride that up. That's not really what I've been doing. But holding on to losses, there's definitely been things that I've held. One of the things people don't really realize is how to actually do a sell. It's easy to get in and to buy. It's the selling that seems to be harder to do. Letting go of your crypto, if you believe in that project or whatever it might be, or you're I'm hodling and it's going to come back up and all that kind of stuff. So with stocks and shares, not too sure, as I've not really traded a lot. I sold all of them into crypto. But number 6, lying to others about trading activity. This might involve hiding the extent of one's trading from your family or friends, or lying about losses in order to downplay the severity of the addiction. Yeah. I mean, is it really a loss unless you sell? If you don't sell, if you've got these assets and they're going to, they have functionality and stuff, but am I downplaying it? That's a question to ask myself. But you can see these 6 points, what would be considered to be an addiction. And then I'm going to finish off with the final article, and there's links in the Notion. Is like, what do this is questions to ask yourself. Now, do you have a trading addiction? So questions to ask yourself these questions. Awareness and acceptance of our current state of mind can feel really good. It takes a lot of energy to hide from ourselves, and it can be a huge relief to acknowledge our experience and accept ourselves as we are right now. Then we can ask what we want instead. Okay. So I got like this light shining in my face for this, and it's like hard to read this as well. But otherwise it'd be quite hard for people to see my face on the YouTube stream. So we're going to persist with this. Right. So where are we at? So questions to ask yourself to see if you do have a trading addiction. Do you hide your trading results? 2, do you have a wide mood swing depending on recent trading results? 3, do you trade from your phone? Okay, interesting. Everyone has these apps now, and apps, as we know, are very much designed for you to want to make you use them. Now, I think combining 2 potentially addictive things together, well, that can't be a recipe for good things. I mean, these trading apps are, easily accessible. So yeah, I think that's an interesting one. 4, do you feel the markets are manipulated against you? 5, have you blown up more than one account? So that basically means, for those who don't know what blowing up an account is, I think it's like a trading account and then you're like exceeding its limits that you can be able to do the trades of that day or that week or whatever, or even maybe if it's a margin. Please, no one ever do margins and leveraging. You could just completely blow up your account and owe so much money. So yeah, so that's that. 6, have you disconnected from other parts of your life? I would say, in terms of my obsession of blockchain, I definitely have. I literally have not been doing anything else other than being on Clubhouse and Discord for the last 2 years, or any other interests. But we are trying to bring this back into the real world with doing some real life meetups again. So we're remedying that one. But yeah, so that was that. And do you feel compelled to check the charts from your first waking moments? I will be honest, I do check crypto on CoinGecko the moment I do wake up. So I want to see what's been happening while I've been sleeping. Is it down today? Do I want a dollar cost average into some more Solana? So yeah, I would say that is a big yes for me. Do you, let's have a look. Do you brag about your profitable trades and not mention your losses? That's a really good one, because how often does anyone ever talk about their losses? I don't see it. You don't see it anywhere. Twitter, YouTube, whoever you might follow. I want to know how many losses someone's had. Are you a good trader? Okay, tell me about your losses as well. Like, when did you make mistakes, and when did you, like, you're betting on something, you're thinking it's going to go one way, because that's the real key, is to understand that you don't know where it's going. It could go either way. No matter how much analysis you do, no matter what indicators you do, you don't really know. It's a probability, and you have to plan. And this is past my ability. You have to plan for, like, what if I'm wrong? What if I'm incorrect and it does something else? So yeah, that's an interesting one. Samuel, I saw you and Mike.
I was just going to say, with you going through all of those, symptoms, this is turning into an intervention, Fuzzy.
Well, this is it. I mean, I've joked with my partner and said, I think I need a Crypto Anonymous group, because, yeah, I'm hoping not many of these are yeses for you, but it's something to be very, very mindful, I think, for all of us. So we'll continue. We'll continue. Yeah. So do you brag about your profitability, not your losses? Do you feel restless if you're not trading? I would say no, because it's not really a trading thing. It's more like the information I'm addicted to, really. It's more like what's going on in the space, who's holding our spaces, who's having conversations about stuff. what's going on in the project that I'm part of today. So slightly different, but still addictive personality and addictive behavior. Let's have a look. So do you try to convince your family at this time you will make money? Does your trading impact your restful sleep? Do you experience a reduction of libido? Do you believe there is no alternative for your life if you can't make it trading? Are you experiencing more frequent and longer times feeling depressed? Number 15, if you have a losing or a series of losing tradings, do you try to make it back? And finally, with number 16, do you trade impulsively out of emotional reaction? So I didn't count all the numbers there, but there were 16 questions there to ask yourself if you possibly addicted. And then finally, just to kind of finish this all off, and let's try and find hang on, stop sharing this for a second on the YouTube. There is a website that I've included in the Notion page that's linked in the Clubhouse and pinned in the YouTube stream and Facebook stream. There's a website called tradingaddiction.org. So tradingaddiction.org, and I'm just going to do a presentation screen share on the YouTube stream. Let's find that. Okay, where are we now? Windows. Here we go. Right, share that. And yeah, there it is, nice and big for people to see. So if you have gone through those points and questions and you feel like there's too many of those that are yes, there is help. Like with any addiction, there is forms of support groups. So this is primarily to do with trading, presumably day trading of stocks and shares. But if people are trading crypto, it's very much the same. I guess with NFTs, it's trading. You could call it the same. But I haven't done a search for this, but I would be quite surprised at this point, given how much little of the population is into Web3 and blockchain, if there is a crypto addiction support group. But I think in the future we're going to see this for sure. Definitely see this for sure. So get help and support and advice. Get support and advice for your trading addictions. Thousands of people around the world impacted by day trading. Oh, it does say here crypto trading. Okay, crypto trading, stock trading addiction. So they've got that covered. Highlighting trading addiction worldwide. 90,100 traders in 120 countries, professional support, education training, resource library, ongoing support, localized support, relationship building. Okay, cool. Well, the link's there if anyone wants to check that out. But so if you have been watching the live stream, you've been here on Clubhouse, you're listening to the recording, you listen to the replay, I appreciate you doing so. Thanks for coming along. I've obviously said a lot of stuff about myself quite publicly here, which is fine. I have no issue on that. I think with the audience, if you're going to come and find these videos at some point, I want to be real. I want to be as real as possible that, I've made mistakes. I'm not completely lost my ass. I'm not on the street. But, looking back, a little bit of reserve would have been good. But at the same time, I wouldn't be in the position where I am now. Most of it is tied up in my own cryptocurrency, which is great. Most of it's tied up in NFTs that give me education in the space, which is great. So utility has been my saving grace. I've never been trying to make big wins, and I haven't been chasing losses. So that's something I am very grateful for. But I can really see how this could have gone a different way. So that's it for me from now. I don't know if Samuel, if you wanted to unmute and say anything or have any comments. If you are there.
No, I'm good, man. This was a great meeting today.
Okay.
Great was Check Clubhouse.
No worries, dude. No worries. Great stuff. Well, yeah, perfect. Well, I'm going to shut this all down. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day and take care.